Hi friends, welcome back to my video. And last week I was talking to one of my friends and I told her I have this very interesting story to share with you. And she said, yeah, I am all ears. And I thought, what does this expression all ears means? So I went about researching about it and I came across so many idioms, as they are more commonly known in English. So these are these phrases and expressions which are made up of words which will not have the exact meaning that they might come in the sentence as. So all ears here meant that I'm attentively listening to what you are saying. So based on my research, I came across many idioms. I finally decided that I'm going to discuss the ones that have body parts in them. So let's get started. Okay, so the first one that I have for you is hand to mouth. So the origin of this phrase actually comes from during the famine that took place in Britain in early times. There was scarcity of food, there was no water. So it is assumed that if you give somebody something to eat in his hand, he would automatically take it to its mouth, because that's what the human psychology is. So this is from where the expression came into existence, and it means that you just have enough money to buy yourself the utmost essentials. So most of the time when people use it, they use it as say for example, they lived a hand to mouth life until they won this grand lottery, right? Okay, coming on to the next one. Next one is hands down. Now this story behind this expression is interesting. Back in the times when horse racing was so popular, people were going watching matches. So any jockey, the one who's riding the horse, if he would take away his hands from the reins and still win the race, you would say he would win hands down. So hands down, the meaning of this expression comes out to be to achieve something without putting in a lot of efforts. So I'm going to vote for him because he will win hands down. This is some of the way of using it, and you can also try that. Right. So the next one is big mouth versus tight-lipped. So when you call somebody a big mouth, you are saying that person cannot hold secrets and he tends to say a lot of things that he shouldn't be saying. And if you say that he or she is tight-lipped, you are trying to say that person keeps the secret. So they are completely opposite. Obviously, the big mouth is a negative way of putting it to somebody, negative quality, and tight-lipped could be a person who is more introvert. So these are two expressions that are used to describe a person on his talking behavior. Right. Talking about tight, I came across this another idiom which is sleep tight. Now, how do you say sleep tight? There's tight clothes, there's a tight situation, but what does sleep tight means? So I looked for this origin of this phrase and I came across a story that back in the times when there were no concept of mattresses, people were sleeping on the floor, there were sheets they were putting on the floor. So what most of the people did is they used to tie these sheets, the four corners, to the ropes and tie them to any pole or any standing structure and then sleep on it. So this would give them a more feeling of a mattress and more comfortable sleep would follow. So when you say somebody sleep tight, you are automatically telling them to sleep well. So you can always use them to wish somebody a good night's sleep. Sleep tight. Right. So the next one that I have for you is bite the bullet. So it sounds strange. How do you bite a bullet? But back in the times, when there was no anesthesia introduced in procedures like surgery or operations, the patients were actually given a bullet to bite onto so that they wouldn't shout under the pain or whatever procedure was being performed on them. So in general English, when you are talking and somebody says you have to bite the bullet and go through it, you are saying that you have to endure this unpleasant situation. So use it to give somebody the strength and say you have to bite the bullet and you have to go for it. Yeah. Similarly, on the same line is bite your tongue. So yeah, you don't have to do it like literally, because that would be really dangerous for anyone. But when you say that you had to bite your tongue or I had to bite my tongue during that meeting, that means I had to control myself from saying a lot of things that I wanted to say, but for whatever reasons I had to restrict myself. So bite your tongue means to stop yourself from saying things that you really want to say. Another interesting one is to turn a blind eye. So the origin of this phrase comes from, there was this Admiral Nelson, and he had this one eye which was not which is crooked, and he was blind from one eye. So every time he, during a battle, he was use his telescope and put his blind eye into it and look for these orders from his superiors. Obviously, because he's blind, he cannot understand these orders or see what they're trying to say. So the meaning of this phrase comes out to be when you are deliberately trying to ignore an unwanted suggestion. So yeah, I turned a blind eye to his offer because I had something else on my mind, is one of the ways in which you can use it. So yeah, such interesting ways to improve your vocabulary. Be smart when you're talking. I have listed quite a few of these expressions in my blog this week, the link of which I am attaching below. So do give it a read and keep getting these notifications for such informative content on how to be a good speaker, good writer on my blog on curlspeak.com. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that I can create, these informative videos for you, and it keeps me motivated. Thank you so much and keep watching. Bye bye.